How's it going? Hope you are doing well. Today we're going to talk about temporal forces. And it looks like sadly there's been a little bit of more market manipulation involving this set. Next, it is now the Morty's conviction or the Morty's conviction. So let's go ahead and check it out. Um so when this first started happening, I was kind of assuming that maybe the pull rates and the fact that this set was getting to be really popular all of a sudden with the ancient and future cards, I just assumed that it was cards getting bought out. But now it's definitely market manipulation, but it's not all the cards. It looks like it's just the Morty's conviction now. Remember, a couple weeks ago upon release, it was the Iron Crown EX. Currently, the Iron Crown has 51 listings at 87 or $89. The market price is $87.62. But look at this Morty's conviction. Yesterday, a couple other YouTube content creators were talking about this issue, and there was only like 9 listings left of the Morty's conviction. Now we have 26 listings. So the market price for Morty's conviction is $86.17. We're going to look at those listings in a second, but let's see if there's anything else going on. Right now we see the Raging Bolt, 52 listings. So there's a market price for $67.25 as an average. And then we have the Walking Wake right here, 43 listings, $50.89. The Gouging Fire is right here, sitting at a strong $49.47 with 33 listings. And then the Iron Crowns, $40 with 69 listings, market price $46.38. And remember, for a while we did have the Ghastly that was getting bought out, and so there was just so many people buying out these cards and then basically reposting them or selling them, relisting them, I mean. And so it was kind of nuts. It was kind of crazy. You could see the all-time high was $34 for about a week or two. And since then, it has settled at around $19. If we look at the last sales, we see near mint copies. This might be a Japanese. No, it's not. $16, $18. Two of them sold for $18. So pretty strong. The Ghastly's doing pretty well, pretty strong. But luckily, it's no longer being bought out and manipulated. So, or causing the market to be manipulated because people were just buying out all the cards. So let's look at this Morty's conviction now. And shout out to other YouTube content creators who have been talking about this, because I didn't know until they started talking about it. I hadn't checked in like a week. And so, yeah, so here's the Morty's conviction. Here's 3 near mint copies selling for $99 right now. And there's only 26 listings. The lowest one being $88, it seems like. So let's look at this price jump. Like, gosh, this is crazy. My bad. But yeah, so for the most part, it was selling at around $38 after release, right? $38. It was staying there pretty stable. And then all of a sudden you see it jump to 49. And then a lot of sales keep continuing. So it shot up to 67. And then the market price currently is $88.17 right there. So kind of nuts. So let's go ahead and check out some of these listings. We have a lightly played for $88. We have a near mint, and it's the Japanese card for $89. And that's for 3 copies. And then here's a bunch of near mints: $86, $89, $95, $99. Like, it's kind of sad to see this, because obviously, like, people who can't afford these cards at such a cheap price, and that's the problem with, sometimes these cards being so cheap upon release, is that they're so cheap. Why wouldn't someone be tempted to just buy a bunch of them up and do a little arbitrage? Arbitrage technically is you go to another site and you sell for a profit, but gosh, it's just directly happening on TCG Player. So let's look at the recent sales for the Morty's conviction. Today is the 13th, so $124.99. We have a sale yesterday, $99. We have a sale on 4/12 for $79, 79, 79, 84, 84, 85, 88, 90, 94, 80, 80. So clearly, if there's not a whole lot of listings, I think it was Thursday, there was 9 listings. So We went from 9 listings now to 26 listings, so that's better, but there's definitely more cards out there. And of course, this set, Temporal Forces, literally just came out, so people are still going to be ripping these set, even though it was short printed. We don't know exactly how small of a short print it has been so far. But yeah, so this is the Japanese card. But when did this start happening? Let's see. So 412, it was selling. There was a sale for $101, and there was a sale for $70. So when there's just such a different price fluctuation and a difference in sales, it's obvious that, like, you know, some people are, you know, taking advantage, maybe selling it for $70. And then some people are like, hey, I'm going to sell for $101. Like, why not? Especially if you yourself have a copy, you would probably want to sell your card if you had the opportunity for more money, to get more money back, right? It doesn't mean that you're necessarily buying them all out. It doesn't mean necessarily that if you buy a couple out at $38, hoping that maybe in the future you can make some money off of it, that's not really a bad thing. But when a group of people, you know, are buying it out, that's the problem right there, because you could see right here on 411, there were still some sales for $45, some honest sales, and then we have a couple sales for $78, $80 just for one copy. So yeah, like, you could just see when this started happening. Let's see when the card was pretty much at a stable price right here. It looks like 410, $41, a sale for 39, 38, 39, 40, 40. Then we have 45, nothing too crazy yet, right? 50, we have one for 69 right here, 39, 49, 50. And so it looks like about on the 10th, which was 3 days ago, I think that was Wednesday, then all of a sudden we see some sales for $89. You know, maybe there wasn't a whole lot of listings, so people started listing their card for a little higher, you know, trying to get some gains off of it. And then we just see 411, 89, and 120, and that's when it starts to begin. There's a couple sales for 45, but most of them are now in the 80s. And then on 411, 2 days ago, Thursday, I believe, in the hundreds, 100, 119, a lightly played one for 79. Here's a couple for 68. So this is just such a big jump, right? From $35, $40 to now a $78 card. So the price it would be realistic if it was like 43, right? Sitting around 38, 39. So kind of crazy, kind of nuts. Here's some more listings right here. $119, $120, and you know, they're taking the opportunity. The last sale was for $99, $79, and $124 the past couple days. So this is the next card to go ahead and be bought out, and we're gonna see what happens. You know, this set continues to have cards that, you know, there's these secret illustration rares that have low pull rates, and then people see that and they're like, hey, why not go ahead and buy a good chunk of them up and see if I can go ahead and make a profit afterwards. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. If you think that's a bad thing, if you think it's bad for the hobby or for the TCG players that need these cards to play in the game. Or just for people in general who maybe want to get and pick up these cards, because we saw it with the Ghastly, we saw it with the Iron Crowns. Are we going to see it with another card that's cheaper? You know, what about this Airy? I don't know if it's playable in the TCG, but there's 49 listings for $25. It definitely would work better with a playable card, right? Because that would kind of mess up the TCG a little bit for people who need that card. But yeah, so let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, I'm going to go ahead and show you, we did results for if you thought Paradox Rift or Temporal Forces was a better investment. I'll go ahead and show that at the beginning of the video. But what do you think? Do you think Paradox Rift will be a better investment for returns later in the future? Or do you think Temporal Forces will be a better investment for the future to see some gains? Honestly, I think Temporal Forces is a set that is going to be highly desirable in the future. I just think those ancient and future Pokemon are just such an innovative idea. Not everyone's favorite, but they look great, you know. You can't hate on them too much. Eventually, you start to like new Pokemon. Not everyone, but eventually, like, I like Nulala and Solgaleo and all the Necrozma, like, especially when you didn't participate in an era, you go back and you're like, whoa, these cards were actually kind of crazy. These Pokemon were actually kind of nuts. And so that's what I like about Pokemon, is that there's a Pokemon for everyone to enjoy, right? I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Let me know your thoughts on those two sets. Peace.